Social anxiety isn't just this random thing that hits you out of nowhere. It can actually be broken up into 3 stages. And in this video, I'm going to go through each stage, what to do within each stage. And towards the end, I'll go over a mystery bonus stage, which tends to keep a lot of people stuck with social anxiety. Stage 1 is anticipation. Social anxiety kind of feels like everyone else has a script except you, and the anticipation beforehand can sometimes be worse than the actual event itself. Before an event, you might rehearse what you'll say over and over again, and you'll likely have this sinking feeling in your stomach, imagining all the worst case scenarios. Things you can do here: you can remind yourself that you're not an anxious person. You're just someone currently experiencing anxiety. These feelings will pass like they have in the past. Also, instead of letting the single event consume your thoughts, try to think of things to do before and after. For example, you've got a party coming up and you're nervous about meeting loads of new people. Plan to do a short workout beforehand and then maybe plan to watch one of your favourite shows afterwards. Then, once you've got those things planned, try your best to do the bare essential prep. This is something that I really struggled to do. I would over prepare for absolutely anything, and it feels like the right thing to do, but in reality, I'm just trying to get a level of certainty that isn't possible, and it's just adding to the anxiety. Quick side note, if anxiety is something that you're currently working on, I've created a free 10-day workshop. It's short daily modules and one-to-one coaching with me. If that sounds interesting, the link will be down below and you're welcome to join. And stage 2 is in the moment, so you might become hyper self-aware of yourself, what your face and body is doing, what others might be thinking, maybe sensing their moods. There's a lot of focus on the self and how you're coming across. And it's not really the fear of being judged by others that's the problem. It's more the version of you that you imagine they're seeing, if that makes sense, right? A lot of people with social anxiety are good at judging themselves. And so naturally, we don't like what people see when they look at us. Things that help here: acceptance, a little compassion. So notice the anxiety and, say thanks, but you're not really needed right now. If your mind goes blank, that's fine. You don't need to fix it. Just say, I'm sorry, but my mind's gone blank. And finally, focus outwardly. So focus on the other person, their tone, their body language, and take some of that focus off yourself. Stage 3 is the aftermath. So this is where the rumination kicks in. You overanalyze everything you said, everything that could have came across awkward. So what can we do here? I think first we need to recognise how important this stage is, because doing exposures, like going to certain events and teaching your brain that these things aren't as scary as we're making them out to be, that's great. But if our self-talk afterwards is rubbish, then we're going to be less likely to build up momentum and overcome anxiety. What gets rewarded gets repeated, and what gets punished gets avoided. So we first need to identify that negative self-talk, which is very difficult to do. It took me a while to even notice it. And then we need to start challenging those thoughts. And that takes us to the secret mystery bonus stage, which is avoidance. Avoidance is a thing that feels like the best thing to do in the moment, but in the long run, it just keeps us stuck, and it reinforces the idea that we are not capable and that this anxiety is true, like we should believe it. For avoidance, the best thing we can do is exposure. Maybe creating an exposure hierarchy list and tackling the slightly easier stuff first before working your way up to the big, scary thing. Also, lowering your anxiety shouldn't be your entire world, right? It shouldn't be your main focus. Try to have other things like projects or goals that you're working towards that take away from the focus towards anxiety. And that's honestly one of the best things that I've done, right? I still get anxiety, social anxiety. I can tolerate it much better now because it's not my main focus. We need to recognise and remember that some amount of anxiety and social anxiety is normal. The goal should never be to eliminate it completely. Full recovery is when the symptoms of anxiety still show up, but they don't matter as much. Thanks for watching, like, subscribe and stuff.